Evil Empire. Their history unmatched. Their success legendary. Their players among the best to ever play the game. A team built and expected to win. Love them or hate them, they are here. They are the New York Yankees. History is certainly brief for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but many a team would envy a history that includes a world championship. A championship won by beating the fabled New York Yankees. Although the faces have changed, the memories remain, and the franchises will forever be linked. The Yankees remain a measurement of greatness, a challenge for all others to match. For the next 3 nights, that challenge returns to Chase Field. The New York Yankees, the Arizona Diamondbacks, next on Fox Sports Arizona. For the first time since 2004, it's a regular season rematch of the classic 0-1 World Series. Jaguar North Scottsdale presents Diamondbacks Baseball. It's game 1 of a 3-game set, the New York Yankees and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Surefire Hall of Famer edging closer to 3,000 hits. Derek Jeter, his mate, off to his right, chasing the all-time home run record. What a traveling roadshow with the fans. You will hear them throughout the night. These young Diamondbacks certainly hope to learn from the greats of the game. Mark Reynolds, he needs a spark. Maybe the energy in the ballpark will get it going. And the face of the franchise, Justin Upton, trying to catch up with that pace car, the Yankees. Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. My name is Darren Sutton. He is Mark Grace. What amazing energy promises to be here at Chase for the next 3 nights. We're excited about it. We're glad you have joined us this evening. When you talk about the Yankees, it is very much since the mid-'90s the same core group. They've been fortunate to keep them together. As they come back into town as the defending World Series champions, a lot of it stays the same.
Well, when you talk about that core group like you are, Darren, you talk about greatness. There's 4 out of 5 guys right there that are either Hall of Famers or all but Hall of Famers. And then you add Alex Rodriguez, who's another surefire Hall of Famer. I mean, these guys are amazing. And now they've also added guys like Mark Teixeira. They've brought up guys like Robinson Cano through their system. So these guys don't rebuild when guys move on. They reload, Darren.
And with Cano, he's overlooked right now, but he may be the MVP in the American League.
Right now, you've got to put him in that conversation. There's no question. Justin Morneau certainly comes to mind, and a couple other guys. But right now, Robinson Cano is the best player on the best team in the American League, and that's the New York Yankees.
And the nation gets to see one of the great turnarounds in Chris Young.
Yeah, Chris Young is a great story. This guy hit the depths last year. I mean, you couldn't get any lower than Chris Young was. This year, he's one of the better players in the National League. I look for him to possibly go to Anaheim and be an all-star and represent the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Now we're talking. What a great story, Chris Young going toe-to-toe with his mates against these New York Yankees. Back home, they're a winning club back at home. Let's hope that holds true for the next 3 games. Certainly glad to have you with us. You want energy? We've got it at Chase Field. You want every single seat filled? We have it. Now it's going to have a Yankee sound to it, but what a night it's going to be in downtown Phoenix. Proud partner of the Diamondbacks. By SRP. SRP will plant 9,000 trees because the Diamondbacks won 9 games in May. Wish it could have been more. Visit srp.net/trees. And by Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. New York Yankees, 2,830 career hits. Crowd electric flash bulbs going off all over the ballpark. We are underway, game one. Jeter goes after the fastball high in the zone. Gerardo Parra in left field puts it away just like that. 1 out. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Joe Girardi, defending world champion skipper and skipper of these New York Yankees. Beyond Jeter, it goes a couple of switch hitters. It's Swisher and Teixeira. Then beyond him, it's Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano. Many say the MVP in the AL right now. Jorge Posada, Curtis Granderson, struggling a bit offensively. Brett Gardner, quietly a great story. And A.J. Burnett, he gets to hit. These Yankees that use the designated hitter go on the road and they get to hit. Nick Switcher, switch hitter, and you can put the two together, and it's a tongue twister. 293, 11 home runs, 42 RBIs. High fly, they're swinging a stick.
They're just missing balls. But the key word there is missing.
So quickly, 2 outs in the inning defensively for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Parra, C.Y. Upton, Reynolds, Drew, Johnson, LaRoche, Miguel Montero is the battery mate of Rodrigo Lopez. The pride of Georgia Tech, Mark Teixeira, also a switch hitter. He takes a fastball over the outside, 86 miles an hour.
John Hirschbeck, the home plate umpire tonight, one of the most notorious big zones in all of baseball.
I knew there was a reason I liked him, as that one missed away. 1-1 the count.
That right arm gets a workout when Big John Hirschbeck is back there. He is a great umpire. He's very consistent. He's just got a big zone.
That pitch is low. Our numbers on Rodrigo Lopez, 34 years old, former Oriole, faced these Yankees a lot. He has gotten hurt late in games, maybe because the bullpen hasn't been able to be there for him, presented by the UPS store. Otherwise, very quietly, I would tell you, overlook those numbers a bit. He has been very dependable for these Diamondbacks. He sits the New York Yankees down 1, 2, 3.
Very impressive, Rodrigo Lopez.
These Arizona Diamondbacks, Johnson going toe-to-toe with a 32-year-old right-hander, A.J. Burnett, Alan James Burnett, born in North Little Rock, Arkansas. Great picture of this packed house. This ballpark is completely sold out tonight. And truth be told, an awful lot of New York Yankees fans, but you know what?
So?
The energy in this ballpark, they're baseball fans, and it's a great atmosphere.
It's a full house, and players love playing in front of a full house.
Plenty of those fans as well. This is their home team. Diamondbacks fans have been vocal from the get-go. Johnson takes high, 1-1 the count. Burnett making his 15th start of the year. He is 6-5 with a 4.33 ERA. He's been knocked around in his last 3 outings. As that one is in. 2-1 the count. A rare changeup, doesn't throw too many. On the season, you can see his numbers. He gave up 6 against Philly last time out, 4 against Baltimore before that, and 6 against Toronto the time before that. Johnson pops it up. Derek Jeter directing traffic, says, Mr. Gardner, you've got that one, and he puts it away. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Stephen Drew is behind, Justin Upton, then Miguel Montero. Had a fine road trip. Chris Young, Adam LaRoche, Mark Reynolds, Gerardo Parra, and Rodrigo Lopez. Cole Gillespie called to the big leagues. He will help out Parra on occasion now in left field, where those Diamondbacks need more production. Tell us about the stuff of A.J. Burnett.
It is terrific. He's got a fastball. He can get up to the high 90s. A very good breaking ball. And an occasional changeup. That's by far his third pitch. And right now, you can just see it's smooth 94 right there and right by Stephen Drew. Kind of looking forward to seeing that curveball tonight because it is a dandy.
Now that's the pitch that certainly the Diamondback hitters were discussing before the game. That pitch is a curveball. Nice take.
That was it. It's one of those power curveballs. It's not off speed at all. Yeah, it's slower than his fastball, but he throws that thing as hard as he can.
Drew 6 hits on the last road trip, hit 273 as he takes high. Had an interesting comment before the game. I said, what do you have for me on A.J. Burnett? He said, I don't know, Sutton. We'll find out later on tonight. He has dialed back looking at video. He has dialed back scouting reports. He likes to get out there a little bit more like you used to.
Do it the old-fashioned way, huh?
The 2-2. Beat him with a pitch away. Derek Jeter on across to Mark Teixeira. And 2 outs in the inning. Let's take a look at the Yankees defensively. Gardner Granderson comes over from Detroit in that massive trade this winter. Nick Swisher isn't right. A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, Teixeira, a star-studded infield, and Jorge Posada healthy again. Back behind home plate, 38 years young, doing the catching. Now from 38 to a guy who in a couple of days is going to add another candle on his birthday cake, Derek Jeter, and Alex Rodriguez about a week away from his birthday.
How old are those guys now?
Alex will be 35 in 6 days, and Derek Jeter will be 36 in 5 days.
How do you play for 25 years and you're only 35 and 36?
Doesn't it feel like it?
It sure does.
They played a season's worth of games in October and November.
I mean, I can tell you that Scott Brocious was before Alex Rodriguez there. I couldn't tell you who the shortstop was before Derek Jeter.
Well, that was the man in your World Series title that stared across from the other dugout all 7 games. And that's how long he's been at it. Only Chipper Jones with the same team as Justin gives that one a ride. Deep right center field. Goodbye. Home run number 12 of the year for Justin Upton, RBI number 35. We were explaining to the folks with the Yankees that there's only a handful of hitters that can get it up onto that balcony. You mentioned him first.
That's exactly right. And there's really a couple of guys that can go over the top of that yellow line in center field, and Justin is certainly one of them. When he gets a hold of it, into those seats it goes. 1-0 Diamondbacks. The other one is Mark Reynolds. And every once in a while, somebody else. Every once in a while. But Justin Upton, boy, that ball got out of here quickly as well.
Another $150 to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association, courtesy of our good friends and partners with Fulton Homes.
Just give him a little limelight. Get some national TV on him. Get the Yankees in here with their bevy of fans. Turn up the dial, Justin. That's big league.
I know you were speaking with some of the Diamondbacks in that tone before the game.
I'm getting a little fired up here, Sut.
Well, why wouldn't you? The 1-1 to Miguel Montero, who spent the last 3 days fired up in Detroit, Michigan. Now, he did so on the diamond as well. A little bit angry and upset with his old teammate, Jose Valverde, who we thought, and I spoke with a lot of the Diamondbacks players today, at least a half dozen, they thought it as well, that Valverde would be coming after, headhunting, if you will, Montero, but he didn't. That one fouled back to the screen. He sent word over that he would be doing it. And did not at all. Whether it was justified, Montero's comments, doesn't matter. You think a little bit of a fire in that Diamondbacks clubhouse.
Well, I hope so. And we have been wanting to see something like that for a while. We just saw some there.
The 1-2. Curveball, ground ball, base hit, center field.
That boy can hit.
That's all he does. That is 16, make it 17 hits this year and 42 at-bats. With knee surgery wrapped around those small at-bat totals.
He takes that breaking ball from Burnett and just stays right on it. Doesn't try to do too much with it. And that's the important thing. When you've got 2 strikes on you, if you can just put the ball in play pepper, you got a big hole up the middle like that. That is veteran hitting right there. For a young player, that is veteran hitting. 2 strikes on you. You've got a guy out there that throws hard with great stuff. You just don't try to do too much. Take what he gives you.
Which brings us to the subject, certainly, and Chris Young has had an incredible year and cut down in this number of strikeouts. You can see what a difference a year makes for CY. But these Diamondbacks have struck out this year 200 more times than the New York Yankees.
Wow.
There's some power in that visiting dugout.
But they also put a professional at bat on you all the way up and down that lineup. They're power hitters. But if you're going to strike them out, they're not just going to go up there swinging for the fences every time. These guys have a game plan and have the ability to fight you, foul you off.
Young, broken bat, left field, very late break, coming in, it dumps in. Gardner couldn't find it for some reason. The ball hung up there for a long time. The Diamondbacks and Young will take it. See why 8 hits in his last 25 at-bats now.
He gets a breaking ball that time off the very end of the bat. I would imagine Brett Gardner must have thought because of the power that Chris Young possesses that maybe he broke back, but boy, that wasn't the best of efforts from Brett Gardner there. Mike Harkey going to come out and talk to A.J. Burnett. Old teammate of mine, Mike Harkey.
I was going to say, where have the years gone that he's now wearing a coach's uniform? I remember watching him pitch in college at Cal State Fullerton as a young man.
One of the best human beings you'll ever run into. Boy, what could have been if he had just stayed healthy in his career, and he really never was in his major league career. And he stayed healthy. Oh, sky was the limit for him.
So he speaks with Burnett, who now duels Adam LaRoche. Reynolds waits on deck, as you can see. Adam drives it deep right field. LaRoche with a 3-run home run. Home runs allowed by Burnett in his last 4 starts. 8 home runs allowed. His ERA is 9 in his last 3 starts.
Fastball middle in. Adam LaRoche just turned it around way out of here on the first pitch he sees from Burnett. Well, these boys can hit it home.
Makes you even more upset when you think about the road. Another Fulton Holmes home run, $150 to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association.
Yeah, this year the bats haven't traveled well this year, but boy, they've done awfully well here.
That pitch is low, 1-1 the count. Arizona leads the Yankees 4-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Upton with his 12th, he's got 35 RBIs. LaRoche with his 10th, he's got 45 RBIs. Reynolds drives it. It's deep to left field. Mark Reynolds touch them all. There was another Diamondbacks team that went on the road to Boston and Detroit. The real Diamondbacks stayed home and took a week off. They're back tonight. Mark Reynolds picked on that curveball, crushed it. Burnett's struggles continue. For Mark, home run number 17, RBI number 48, 5-0. 1-0 the count to Gerardo Parra. Fulton Holmes home run, $150 to the Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. 4 times this season now, the Diamondbacks have hit back-to-back home runs.
All this after the first 2 batters were retired.
A.J. Burnett, the 32-year-old right-hander, is officially getting lit up here in Arizona. 3-1 the count to Parra. Parra left center, into deep left center field. That one's to the wall. It's a ground rule double. So Gerardo Parra with his 9th double of the year. And Arizona continues to tattoo A.J. Burnett.
What is going on here, Darren Sutton?
I have no idea. But I'm loving it. And these fans are loving it. We hope you at home, you're loving it too. You've suffered a lot this year. You deserve a lot more moments like these.
I was going to say, who's the world champion and who's the team in dead last? Wow. I'm having trouble believing what I'm seeing.
So now, we'll know it's incredible if Rodrigo drives one in the gap.
I was going to say, you don't suppose Rodrigo's going to go ahead and hit one in the seats, do you? Why not, Rodrigo? Help yourself, son.
He's 3 for 31 this year with 14 strikeouts. He's got 1 sack bunt. But more importantly, he's got 5 runs to play with now.
Right now, he hadn't had any of that in his last few starts. He's had 0 luck.
And the teletype starting to print out some numbers. You can see those numbers are scary for Burnett. They also tell us Rodrigo 0 for 25 in his career with runners in scoring position. That just came across the wire.
Well, that was very good. I'm glad you said that, Darren. Oh, how'd you take that pitch? What discipline that is from Rodrigo Lopez. That's just called getting knee buckled so bad you can't swing.
Two and 1 the count, 5-0 the score.
Just missed it. That was an angry fastball that time from A.J. Burnett. After watching that pitch and that swing, I think Rodrigo needs to start his swing right now. Rodrigo.
Fastball is high, pitching around him, I'm sure. 3-2 the count.
I'll tell you what, there's action in the Yankee bullpen. I'm beginning to wonder if Lopez finds his way on, if A.J. Burnett might have an early exit.
Chad Godin warming in the pen. Fastball, strike 3. 9 Diamondbacks came to the plate here in the first inning. And the offense was plentiful for Arizona. We were looking for it in Boston. We searched high and low in Detroit, couldn't find it anywhere. It's been back here in Phoenix the entire time. and a smattering of boos amongst a rousing ovation. Alex Rodriguez gets comfortable in the batter's box.
A lot of ball game left.
And the first pitch is in. 1-0 the count. For Rodrigo, he is making his 21st career start against the New York Yankees. He is 8-8 with an ERA of 5.90. He has seen these Yankees before. The last time he faced them, he was a member of the Rockies. He beat them. And it was in Denver. A-Rod down the line. That was a cut fastball. And into the seats it goes. 3 times an MVP. He was 2 for his last 18 on the recent homestand. They took 2 of 3 from the Mets. Lost 2 of 3 at the hands of the Philadelphia Phillies on that last homestand.
He challenged him right down the middle belt tie.
He did.
Nearly got it past him. But I wouldn't make a habit of doing that. Look where this pitch is. Center cut, belt tie. Yikes.
Play him to pull in the infield fairly dramatically. Outfield is straight and deep for Alex. Curveball, little number. So you throw him a cutter and a slow curveball, and A-Rod is done. Little one-hopper back to the mound, so 2 for his last 19.
Sped him up with the fastball and then slowed him right down with that good breaking ball. Got him right off the very end of the bat. It's just a good sequence that Rodrigo put on A-Rod right there.
So now the man we spoke of coming on the air. You all know about Jeter. You certainly know about A-Rod. You've heard of Robinson Cano. But if you're a fan of the National League, do you realize that he could be the MVP in this American League? Well, Justin Morneau. As you see, the
Josh Hamilton.
Amica Insurance Hit Zone. They pound him away a lot.
Well, just to kind of put it in Diamondback fans' perspective, since Miguel Montero has come back, been pretty good, hadn't he? He's been real good, hasn't he?
Regular hits all the time.
He's just been fabulous. Just hits, homers, driving in runs, all that. Now go ahead and imagine that all season long, and that's exactly what Robinson Cano has been doing.
367, 14 homers, 49 RBIs. Miguel Cabrera in Detroit probably considered. Heck, Vladimir Guerrero may be considered as well. You threw him into the hat early on. Joe Girardi thinks he has a vote for his MVP. He thinks it's Robinson Cano. The 1-1. Slow breaking ball, belted down the line. It's a foul ball. They knew it was foul because he never put his bat down. Had it with him the entire time.
Yeah, he ran, but it was just because of wishful thinking. Hoping it wouldn't hook foul, and it did.
The 5 runs in the first inning, the most allowed by the Yankees this season in the first. That man with a 3-run homer. A couple of solo shots. The 1-2. Well, he is really slowing him down, speeding up. He's gotten back and forth in that rocking chair, doesn't he?
I mean, also, he's elevating with that fastball with 2 strikes. And that even more so is going to speed up these New York Yankee bats. The only thing he's got to do, he's got to make sure he stays out of the middle of the zone if he's planning on elevating. Elevate in or out, not in the middle. Something like that.
My goodness, running fastball, strike 3. And Cano is done.
Well, notorious big zone, but John Hirschbeck got this one right. This ball comes back right to the inside corner. That's definitely a strike, even though Cano can't believe it. Cano saying, gosh, John, do you realize I'm hitting 367? I usually hit them if they're strikes.
Jorge Posada. A fractured right foot, missed 15 games. On the disabled list, he's back. Change up a pretty strike 1, 0-1 the count. 24th round pick out of Puerto Rico in 1990. That's how long ago it began. And that's a pretty well spent 24th round pick.
24th round for this guy? Yeah. A lot of rings on his fingers.
38 years old, and the curveball just off the plate. 2-1 the count. Curtis Granderson waits on deck. 252 career home runs, 12 RBI shy of 1,000. Good dive on that pitch.
I believe that was the changeup on 2-1. Way out in front of it was Posada to even the count.
.34-year-old right-hander out of La Plata in Mexico.
I love it when you go bilingual on me.
The 2-2. Fastball sails up and out of there.
Once again, trying to elevate on the fastball with 2 strikes. That time he missed outside.
Breaking ball, it's a take. It's ball 4. One more thought on the 3 home runs in the first inning allowed by a Yankees pitcher. It's the first time a Yankees pitcher has allowed 3 home runs in the first inning since Baltimore did it to him in June of 1987, 2 months before Justin Upton was born. Our friends with Stats Inc. and Kurt Zacher with that research. So it's been a while.
In an inning or in the first inning?
In the first inning.
Oh, okay.
The 0-1. 0-2 the count to Curtis Granderson.
Very good fastball hitter and big time pull hitter. Not a big man, but he's got some power. Gonna try to elevate. Be careful.
He got it there.
It's not a bad 0-2 pitch.
It's a small little peephole you're throwing it through, because if it's too high, you'll have no interest at all. If it's down, you're done. The 1-2. Tried to get the run, didn't get the inside corner. That comeback fastball, that's the one that struck out Cano. You can just sense Rodrigo is saying, this is why I came back from Tommy John surgery and worked so hard for nights like tonight.
For these moments.
Fastball right down the middle, strike 3. Diamondbacks. Kelly Johnson takes a fastball that is in. 5-0. Arizona leads it. 5-0. AJ Burnett moved his bullpen back a day. As that was a hot shot to Shera as there. Vacuums it up. To the bag he goes. So Johnson still peeking in that candy store. It's early. He is 0 for 2 with his mates doing big work. Let's go Exmo on this play.
A nice play there by the Gold Glove. Defensive first baseman Teixeira. A rope in between hop. Just made it look easy and took it himself. He's got some of the best hands I've ever seen, Darren.
It's a big compliment coming from you, my friend, with the Gold Gloves you have on your shelf. And also, a lot of times those compliments don't come to right-handed throwing first baseman. But he and Albert Pujols, probably two of the best that we see active now.
Yeah, he's still a very good thrower. And, yeah, but just hands. As far as just having hands and just anything he gets, he just snares. He never bobbles balls. He never has to knock balls down. He just always seems to field everything cleanly.
Two 2-0 the count to Stephen Drew. Can't get the corner. It's 3-0. Those 3 home runs back in the first inning, as we mentioned, with Upton waiting on deck. The 3-0 right down the middle. The last time a Yankees starting pitcher in the first inning gave up 3 home runs in a game was all the way back in 1987. It was Ron Guidry. The homers, Eddie Murray, Ray Knight, and Cal Ripken Jr.
2 Hall of Famers and a really, really good player.
Really good player. And a pretty darn good one gave him up in Ron Guidry.
I was going to say.
(3-2). Bouncing ball got him to pull that one. Had late life as it ran away from him. Want to remind everyone that anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, they're 1 away. Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. Here's Justin. Hit his 12th home run of the year back in the first inning. Obviously, when these two teams get together in this ballpark, it harkens up memories that we know you share with us, and we are excited throughout this series to hear them from 2001. But within the next inning or so, we are hoping to hear from your manager in 2001.
Bob Brenly.
Bob Brenly will join us on the telephone.
Oh, that'll be great. He's always interesting.
1-1 the count. Upton on that last road trip had 7 hits and 23 at bats. He homered, he doubled, he drove in 4. Pulled that one and pulled it foul. For Justin, that was his first ever at bat against the New York Yankees in the first inning.
Yeah. He left us with really high expectations.
The Arkansas-born right-hander, big fella, stands about 6'5", 230. Now Posada tired of waiting. One and 2 the count, 5-0 the score. So now his last 4 starts, he has been touched up. Upton hits it hard. Jeter won't get there. Under the outstretched glove, that one a funky ball to read. It looked like because of that, Derek might have even gotten the late break on it.
Well, ain't no might have about it. He definitely got a late break on it. This ball comes in. It's almost like Justice slices it a little bit. Watch the break. You can see just how long it took Derek Jeter to react on that. He looked in with a befuddled look, but Justin will take it. And a base runner here with 2 outs. He's telling A-Rod all about it in third. Did you see what that ball did?
Now with Miggy Alex way off the line at third. Jeter not far from being behind the bag at second. The outfield is straight up. Maybe Granderson cheating a step over to the opposite field, but usually National League outfields play a lot more the other way for Montero. Almost playing like a right-handed pull hitter. So Miggy, you've got that Geico sign to play Pepper with. Runner goes, he drives it. Center field, going back up. It won't get there. Pepper with the Geico sign. All the way around, comes up to. Usually they close that gap a little more. Miguel Montero crushes that ball. Again, just past an outstretched glove of the Yankees.
Fastball out over. Miguel nails it. Granderson can't run it down. Looked like Granderson got a late break as well on that ball. That's a couple of balls now that A.J. Burnett might feel that should have been caught behind him, but unfortunately for him and the Yankees, a couple of late breaks by Jeter, and now Granderson leads to another Diamondback run here in the second. 6-0. Taco time.
It is taco time. Head to a Taco Bell tomorrow. Purchase that large drink. That one is low and outside. 1-0 the count. He cost himself, Granderson, just by not standing where we usually see center fielders stand. Cost himself about 4 or 5 extra steps. How about this, too? And I know you like this.
What we got?
All 6 runs and all 8 hits with 2 outs.
Boy, you talk about, morale killers, especially on an opposing pitcher.
Fastball up and away, 3-0 the count.
Throw Rodrigo Lopez. You throw Rodrigo Lopez out of the offense. Kelly Johnson 0 for 2. Steven Drew 0 for 2. Nobody else has been retired.
Young fly ball center, late break, coming back in. He's got to dive and save his own bacon. The Yankees defensively in that inning just looked a couple of steps behind the entire time.
I think you must have took him out last night.
Sure,
That's a great catch.
I'll take credit for that.
But he could have easily made it standing if he'd have got a decent break on the ball.
and Sutton, and we trust that you are having a good night and have started your week off the right way. Rodrigo Lopez certainly has. He's leading a lot of offense and throwing strikes 6-0. Brett Gardner out of Holly Hill, South Carolina. College of Charleston, was a third-round pick of the Yanks back in '05.
He is all about speed.
Whoa.
I mean, this kid can run.
What a fabulous year for, again, a guy that lives under the shadows of skyscrapers like Jeter and Rodriguez. Fights that one off, and he's all about reaching base as well. That batting average up from .312, it now goes higher, so he is on. Jazz Roberts air conditioning, cool play. How cool was this? Taking a step back to 2001. Matt Williams, Luis Gonzalez, and you, my friend, analyze how you did here.
Yeah, let's get a little closer. Thank goodness for Adam LaRoche's. I'm telling him right there, I almost threw it over your head. I was nervous.
That had to be fun, though.
It was a thrill. It was a real thrill. Gonzo, Matty. Bringing back those good old days of '01.
Burnett drops it down, picked up by Montero. And in time for the out. Couldn't tell if that had a chance to take a right turn. Miggy didn't want to wait around. I think when he picked it up, he thought he had a chance at Gardner.
But also with a 6-run lead, go ahead and take the out there. You'll give them one run. If they're going to play for one run in this inning, go ahead and let them play for one run. But a very good sacrifice there by Burnett.
39 RBIs for Jeter, leading all leadoff hitters. Most RBIs for anyone out of the leadoff spot this year.
Let's see what happens the second time around. This is the second look now at Rodrigo Lopez for this dangerous, dangerous Yankee lineup.
Well, the numbers prove that teams do have better looks at the right-hander when they see him a second time, as that one is strike one. Mika Insurance hit zone. He's pitched away a lot, but also in at the belt. It's just pitches seen. It doesn't speak to success or failure, but how much he is hammered in those spots. One and one the count. His 2,830 hits lead all active players. Pudge at 2761. Catching in Washington is number 2. That's a lot of hits for a catcher.
Goodness.
The 1-1. High fly, right center field, Upton tracking. Justin puts it away.
Beat him with a fastball up. That's an example right there of why you take the out if you're Miguel Montero on the sacrifice. It still takes a base hit to score Brett Gardner from second. He elevates the fastball around the letters. Jeter can handle that pitch, but it had a little bit extra on it. He was a little bit tardy, and it was an easy fly ball to right. Now it still takes a base hit here with 2 outs to score Brett Gardner. That's why you take that out if you're Miguel Montero off the bat of A.J. Burnett.
Changeup, strike one to Nick Swisher. Or as I called him earlier, Nick Switcher, the swish hitter. The 0-1. Curveball belted center field. Young going back to the wall. He can't get there. It's over his head. Upton hits it back in. A triple. Gardner scores at 6-1. Upton a breaking ball there and hammered it. 43 RBIs.
They got the 2-out hit that they needed, a hanging breaking ball. Nick Swisher just creams it to center field. Diamondbacks get a break. Didn't quite get over that yellow line, but it got over the head of Chris Young. And a 2-out triple to get that run back that they gave up in the bottom of the second inning.
Mark Teixeira's numbers are not gaudy like we're used to. Hitting .226, but of late starting to rake. Not that time, though. A changeup, and he pops it up. Reynolds calling, and he sticks with it. Teixeira now 4 for his last 7 with runners in scoring position. Adam LaRoche to lead it off. It's LaRoche, Reynolds, and Gerardo Parra. A.J. Burnett wheels and deals and fires a strike over the inside. 0-1 the count. A run on 2 hits and no errors for the first place New York Yankees in the American League East. For the Diamondbacks, 6 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. This is an Arizona club that has managed to be a head-scratcher beyond belief. They have played at least average baseball at home. They are 17-16 at home. They are 10-27 on the road. And they have come back home. It's a pretty big zone
right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But big, consistent, right?
It's always consistent. It's big. You'll get a lot of looks back from Adam LaRoche, and he'll always just tell you it's a good pitch.
2-2 the count, making him move his feet.
And he is a terrific umpire and has been for years. If you're a pitcher.
They play LaRoche to pull in the infield, and he drives it to center field. That one knuckling out there on Granderson, but he hauls it in. Let's bring in Jody Jackson. Good evening, Jody. What do you have for us?
Good evening, guys. And, obviously a lot of Yankee fans here tonight, but in that first inning, this crowd, the Diamondbacks crowd, was energized. And I don't want to get crazy here, but it reminded me of the World Series, the way that this team, this Diamondbacks team, jumped on the Yankees early in those games. I mean, obviously, Gracie, you recall the 4 games, 9-1, 4-0, 15-2. Those were the 3 games here. And then, of course, Game 1987, the closest game of those 4 games at home, and it was in fact just the 3rd time in history that the home teams went undefeated. 1987 and 1991, the 2 other times that happened in the World Series. So you know what, just a little slice of that magic here in the first inning. Not going to compare the 2 teams at all, but you know, that was an exciting moment that brought back some memories.
That's good stuff, Gracie. Your thoughts being a part of those 3 blowouts, or at least early offensive explosions, and bringing the crowd into it right away.
Well, certainly bringing the crowd into it right away, no question. You know, until Game 7, the Game 1, Game 2, Game 6, Yankees were never in them. They were never in them. Kurt Schilling, Randy Johnson took care of that and made sure of it. And the one thing that I do recall as far as, you know, getting ahead and whatnot is there's a 1-out walk to Mark Reynolds. It wasn't half or more filled with Yankee fans. It was all Diamondback fans here in Chase Field during the World Series. There was George Steinbrenner and the Yankees families, their wives, their families, and the rest was doggone D-back fans. That's what I remember the most.
A walk to Reynolds. Here's Parra. He doubled back in the first inning. Runner on the move, and Reynolds. We haven't seen this in a long, long time.
A.J. Burnett fell asleep there on Reynolds, and he stole that easily.
Number 4, the quads have been bothering him all year long. We just assume he's planted usually.
Poor throw by Posada as well. And you can just see easily stealing that one is Mark Reynolds. Now let's see if the Diamondbacks can strike again here with 2 outs, Darren.
Bouncing ball, hugging the line. It's a foul ball. The Diamondbacks seeking to add on. Good to see Mark stealing a base. Just kind of expect him this year to grow roots because of the leg problems.
Now, last year when he started stealing bases, it made him a better hitter as well. It kept him more focused offensively and defensively. Makes him a more complete ball player.
Got him down and in. It does make him a more complete ball player to see him tonight, to see Mark homer, to see him walk, get aggressive on the base paths. Understand this. On that last road trip, Mark was 2 for 17. He did have 1 homer. He had 13 strikeouts and 17 at-bats. So to see a little bit more of Mark Reynolds.
A homer, a walk, a stolen base. That's more than the Reynolds we saw of last year. Yeah, the strikeouts are part of it, but not at that kind of rate. That's too much for even Mark Reynolds.
Well, not with little to no production at all.
Exactly.
0-1 the count to Rodrigo. The Diamondbacks have not had an inning with a bat in their hands in which they haven't at least notched 1 tally on the scoreboard with 2 outs. So, Rodrigo, it's up to you now.
Putting that pressure on Rodrigo, huh? Hart wasn't really into that swing.
No.
Neither was his Fanny.
It's all right. He's getting paid to do good work on the mound tonight.
Yeah, he just might thrill us all here with a base hit up the middle. Let's see. Oh, dear.
That was the breaking ball.
Oh, dear. You just pitched, son.
Okay, then we'll hit for you right here. We'll get with you now.
I'm not going to come out unless I'm pitching tomorrow, though.
Well, we don't know for sure if we'll need you. I mean, you know what I mean?
I mean, if it dictates that you need me to pitch, I mean, I'll be ready. Trust me.
Wow, that's great sound right there, isn't it, folks? That's at the end of Game 6. Towards the end of Game 6. Diamondbacks, my team, had a 15-2 lead at that time. And Brenly was saying, hey, he had just thrown 6 innings and had a huge lead, and Brenly wanted to take him out, and he was saying, hey, as that was sky way up there near the rafters, Chris Young got a long way to come. Quickly won out off the bat of Alex Rodriguez, but he was asking Randy, hey, if I need you tomorrow for Game 7, will you be able to pitch? And he said, yeah. He goes, then I'm going to bring you out of this game. But then Randy Johnson said, but now, if you're not going to use me tomorrow, then I'm going right back out there. Because that's his game, and that's the way, that's the way Randy was. Randy never wanted to come out of a game, even if he was getting hit hard, which was rare. But that was great stuff there from Bob Brenly and Randy Johnson. Well, guess what? We did bring him back in Game 7. He ended up getting the win by throwing, I believe, an inning and 2/3 of shutout baseball. Got the win when we came back on the greatest closer in the game, Mariano Rivera, for 2 runs. Great give and take there with Bob Brenly and Randy Johnson.
That is a wonderful memory. Again, you got to think he went around, you bet. 0-2 the count to Robinson Cano.
That's Laz Diaz, the third base umpire. This is what he saw.
That's a strike. For my money, anyway.
Intent. Remember? Our umpires told us that last year. Intent. There was intent there to swing the bat.
You bet he took a trip to the chiropractor with that. Fastball is away. 1-2 the count. Cano, I think, smarting a little bit from a called strike 3 back in the 2nd inning. And it was a late running fastball, started at his kneecaps and hit the inside corner. Popped up on a breaking ball, long run. Chris Young is there to make the play.
I have to admit, I was looking at Gerardo Parra the whole time. Chris Young showing some late closing speed, coming out of nowhere in center field to make this play. Well, that's covering some ground right there by the center fielder.
Jorge Posada takes strike 1. But to be behind the scenes and to hear that memory and that conversation. Jorge looks at a pitch outside.
And I have to admit, up until just a minute ago, I had no idea that conversation happened. I was in the middle of doing my own thing.
You were working.
Yeah.
Buried a fastball in and beat him with it.
A very quick 4th inning.
1, 2, 3 to the defending world champion. very interesting, very interesting. That's a good perspective there. Our AT&T trivia question. Robinson Cano is batting .364 this season since 1950. Name the 2 players to hit .375 or better in the American League.
I definitely know one of them. And one of them was one of my favorite players of all time. That was George Brett. And I have zero idea who the other guy would be.
One and 0 the count. That one runs in. 2-0 the count to Kelly Johnson. A lot of folks have brought their cameras to this ball game. We saw a lot of pictures and a lot of those electric flash bulbs early on. A mile high, shallow left. But Gardner is there, and Gardner makes the play for the first out. Johnson 0 for 3 in this ball game, but his mates, they've picked him up. It's a 6-0 Diamondbacks lead. So to finish the thought we had earlier on Drew in his first at bat, Drew is a guy that has kind of taken the scouting reports and watching his swing over and over on tape and where pitches are thrown and kind of put him on the shelf.
Thrown him in the garbage, huh?
He'll take a peek occasionally. He's just decided to go a little bit more on feel and conversations. He's having a good year. At 15 doubles, he's got 6 triples.
Where he's really impressed me, Darren, is on the defensive end. He has been a very good defensive shortstop this year. Very good. Yeah, he's offensively, you know, he more than capable offensively. I'd say he's probably a little disappointed in his home run total, maybe his RBI total, but defensively he's been terrific.
The 1-1 is in, 2-1 the count. Matt Williams speaking of that before the game about the Stephen Drew defense. He said very quietly, I'm probably most proud of him. Stephen doesn't seek fanfare, and when you get to him to give it to him, he doesn't really want to accept it. And Drew is erased on a ground out. He's tried to pull him a couple of times, pitches that are up and away, so not feeling out yet the way he wants to, Burnett. Well, attention, moms and dads, if you're having trouble finding something to entertain the kids this summer, bring them to Gracie's house or down to the ballpark on Sunday, July 25th for a concert with the Wiggles following the D-backs and Giants game. Now, I'm told the whole gang's going to be there. Captain Feathersword and Henry the Octopus, Wags the dog, all the Wiggly dancers. All the excitement of a big top with a ball game prior to at Chase Field.
Henry the Octopus is going to be there?
Henry, Dorothy the dinosaur, Wags the dog.
Love Wags the dog. I'm telling you. I used to have to watch that show religiously with my children.
So did I.
They loved it.
I just said all those things out loud, by the way.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either. I used to sing the songs out loud with my children.
They were great and are great entertainers. What a niche they've kind of carved for themselves for the younger generation.
I like the colors. I think you and I should have colors like that. Real bright blues and reds.
I really don't think that'd be a very good idea.
1-1 the count. Ours could be, though, but Sedona red and
Sonoran sand.
Sonoran
exactly.
sand.
Yes. Now we're talking. There's Sedona red. All right, Darren. I'm try to name the Wiggles. I know there's Murray. Is there a Greg?
Oh, I think there is. There's certainly a Jeff, because Wake Up Jeff, the very number one
That's
hit.
right.
Wake Up Jeff.
I'm trying to think of all the Wiggles. That's right. Wake Up Jeff is the.
Well, Wake Up Jeff. You know we really need you.
I didn't really know those lyrics, but
3-1 the count to Justin Upton, who we remind ourselves was a few years back watching the Wiggles. Outside, there's a walk to Upton. He's had a fabulous night. He has homered, he has singled, scored a couple of runs, and walked as well. 30 walks this season for Upton.
If I'm Justin Upton, I'm on the move. I'm trying to get in scoring position. This Yankee team is way too talented offensively to sit back on your laurels and think you've got enough. You never have enough. Not against the great teams.
This year, when Burnett is on the mound and there's a stolen base opportunity, there have been 20 stolen bases against him, 3 thrown out. 20 against, 3 thrown out. And that is
not very good.
If you follow the game at all, you know that's not good at all. About 11%. League average is 30% thrown out.
Well, they're smelling a rat. Somebody probably from the dugout, when something like that happens, you pitch out and the runner's not going, somebody from the dugout will scream, "We don't run on pitch outs." Just a little bench jockeying.
I like that.
Sometimes I got to let the folks into the dugout.
Well, you know, I appreciate that. I mean, heck, we were in Detroit. You especially trying to get into that dugout to get the skinny on Miguel Montero and his angst.
Man. He was still a little hot about it when we talked to him today. Justin back pretty easily so far. He can actually get another half a step if he wants to.
He received some national attention for his words.
Now that's some bench jockey.
Montero pops it up.
Afraid our boys are going to blow a blood vessel. Atta boy, get him.
I like him.
I do too. I like him a lot.
One and one the count. 18 hits this season for Miggy. 6 doubles and 2 homers of those hits. Again, over to the bag. One and one the count. Some of the guys on the bench now taking notice of the efforts of that great fan.
Well, I mean, it's not even close. Justin can get a bump. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Play the game, he keeps saying.
Yeah, exactly, Chris Snyder and Adam LaRoche say, tell him. I'm tired of telling him. But he's keeping it clean. He's not swearing. He's just being loud, and that's what you're supposed to be. Root for your team. Get on the other guys if you want to.
One and
just
two
keep
the
it
count.
clean.
Well, I love seeing it.
And he is, and there's nothing wrong at all with that.
I agree with all the things you just said. And we have not been treated with enough of that this year. That's earned that energy, though. These guys, the way they have played in the home dugout to start this ball game, they've drawn their fans into it. There goes the runner, the pitch. Bounces in there. He did not go around. A stolen base. There you go. That's what he wanted.
That's what he's wanting. Justin did press the accelerator. Now he can score on a base hit. I would imagine it is a thrill for him to probably exchange pleasantries there with one of the greatest Yankees of all time, Derek Jeter. Being the first time he's ever played against him.
I think you're right. And I think he's not alone. What a beautiful piece of hitting. Bill Porter says, I need you at the plate. How big was that stolen base? That's right. Keep the pressure on fans and Diamondbacks. And you keep hitting, Miguel Montero. What a joy to have you back.
I keep saying that boy can hit. Look how beautiful that is. Just going the other way. Now it's just pure speed from Justin Upton. Outrunning the throw from Brett Gardner easily. How big is that stolen base? As you said, Justin Upton keeps the accelerator pressed. You never have enough runs, and you never have enough fans like him.
7-1 is the score. Pitch bounces in there, blocked up by Jorge Posada.
Well, that man was flying around the bases. Look what 2-out walks do to you.
Young singled and scored in the first, lined to center field in the second inning. Thought about going around on a breaking ball, 2-0 the count. He really got on the side of that one. That didn't have good tilt at all. Burnett has pitched 5 times against these Diamondbacks. He's going to get another visit from Mike Harkey. Been a long time, though, so it's not even really worth mentioning, but his time has been successful at 3.67 ERA. That bullpen getting to work. Boone Logan, the left-hander. Don't forget, if you have the day off on Monday, July 5th, or even if you don't have the day off, spend your afternoon at noon at Chase Field. The Diamondbacks will host the Cubs for a day game starting at 1 o'clock. Get your tickets today at dbacks.com, 602-462-4794. The Cubs, the Diamondbacks, Monday, July 5th. Two and one the count. 10 of the 11 base runners and all 7 runs for the Diamondbacks have come with 2 outs. Outside, 3-1 the count. Since mid-May, the Diamondbacks 10-5 at home, hitting .283, scoring 6 runs a game at home. The 3-1 pops that one back to the screen.
He had a really good swing and a middle-in fastball there from A.J. Burnett. You know what? He swung it with bad intentions. He came up empty, but he swung it with bad intentions. That's his pitch. He got the pitch he wanted. Oh, boy, that's a bad feeling.
Montero is gone from first when the pitch comes home. Runner goes, the pitch, swung on and missed. He got him with a fastball. But Miguel Montero is 3 for 3 tonight. He's got a run scored, he's got 2 runs batted in, and he's got a brand new fan. be flowing in the right direction. Straight water if you got that one right. Not going upstream, right downstream. That's a good question. Bouncing ball, gobbled up. Little flip to the bag. Hurry, gentlemen, and Granderson does. But he is out hustled a bit by Rodrigo Lopez.
Rodrigo was late getting over. He hesitated on the mound. And I believe he probably thought it was hit to the second baseman, so he was a little slow getting over. But he just able to beat Curtis Granderson. And now he's a little winded. He's going to take his sweet time before he gets on the bump and goes back to work. But a quick out here to start the top of the fifth.
You talk about these 7 runs as Brett Gardner's about to hit that Burnett gave up. He came in amongst active pitchers, one of the best pitchers in interleague play. John Lackey, Johan Santana, Freddie Garcia, all sub-3 ERAs in interleague play, and Burnett 4th with a 3.23. And he had given up just 16 homers and 31 interleague starts. Not tonight. It was a tough night.
Nothing about this Diamondback team makes sense this year.
No,
Darren.
It really doesn't. They can thrill you on occasion, and they can madden you quite regularly. But the thrills, you bottle them up and you enjoy them like tonight. I'm not saying anything to that man.
Well, so far, putting a... Well, that's a nice piece of hitting. You better hurry.
My goodness. He's fun to watch.
We were talking about speed. That's what he brings to this Yankee lineup. This Yankee lineup's full of power, but it's not full of blazing speed. And this kid even kind of spins his wheels out of the box and still beats it. I mean, Stephen Drew does all he can. A one hopper, gathers himself and makes a strong throw across the diamond. Good call over there by first base umpire Wally Bell.
This is Colin Curtis making his major league debut.
Well, congratulations to Colin Curtis. Let's hope you have 20 years up here, young man.
There's a strike to Curtis.
First pitch he sees of his major league career. Well, he looks like he is 14 years old.
He does look young, doesn't he? Out of Washington, born in Issaquah, Washington, out of Arizona State University.
We've seen a lot of former Sun Devils this year.
Well, we certainly have. They came up short today against Clemson in Game 1 of the College World Series. We wish them well fighting out of the losers bracket. But all Pac-10 honorable mention a couple of years in 04 and 05. All College World Series team in 05. A Sun Devil. And he takes in 1-1 the count. When you went to saw him play, if you saw him play in college, you would have seen him wearing number 9 throughout his college career in honor of Roger Maris.
He's not old enough to remember Roger Maris.
Somebody must have shared some good tales with him. Very close.
Last thing you want if you're down 7-1 in the fifth is to be getting picked off at first base. Brett Gardner may just shorten the lead just a shade. Oh, what a changeup that was. 1-2. Beautiful pitch there from Lopez.
And you know you've come a long way as we see this changeup again. He really sells it, too. When you come to the big leagues from page 391 on the media guide, he is not anywhere in the non-roster invitees, anywhere on that 40-man roster. Came from the back of the book. Gives that one a ride to center field. John was over to make the play. So the Butterflies will probably continue for a while, but a major league debut is in the books for the man out of ASU. We'll see him again. You can hear attaboy Collins from his teammates.
Hit it hard, but hit it too much in the vicinity of Chris Young, so 2 quick outs. And now Derek Jeter right back to the top of the lineup.
Jeter flied to left. He flied to right. 10-time All-Star, as we mentioned earlier. He will turn 36 years young in 5 days. And that one backs him out of there. High-speed internet, high-speed pitch is brought you by our good friends and partners with Quest. AJ getting 95 miles an hour. Rodrigo 91. Want to know the count. They want to talk about it. And this ballpark is full up everywhere. And folks are enjoying all around this yard. Great stops to enjoy the ball game. They're enjoying the goodies of Friday.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
Oh, we're actually out at the ABC Club, I am told. Another great destination. Boy, our camera stuck to the right field. That one is up and away. 2-0 the count. 2 great spots. I'm a little torn where I want to go.
Tough to pull me out of Friday's front row.
That's where you're going. I'll be going, as usual, the opposite spot.
And that's just the way we like it.
The 2-0. Going from his knees, a stolen base there for Gardner. That is 23 stolen bases.
Certainly bringing an element to this Yankee team that really nobody else does. Not that great a jump, but right now he's just going to outrun the throw from Miguel Montero. He gets in there just ahead of the tag of Stephen Drew. Now he's in scoring position with 2 outs, and it's a 3-0 count now on Derek Jeter.
Gardner, since last May, has stolen 43 bases and hit over 300.
Finally getting to play all the time.
That's ball 4.
And it's very difficult, Darren, to earn your way into the everyday starting lineup of the New York Yankees. Because in order to do that, you've got to surpass a great player. Not a good player, a great player.
And it's also an organization, and this is all obvious stuff, folks, to follow up what Gracie's saying. They have the resources and use them freely if there is a great player available elsewhere.
And that player last year here was Johnny Damon. Johnny Damon was the left fielder here. He's moved on. We just saw him in Detroit recently. And the Yankees said, okay, that's fine. We've got somebody here in Brett Gardner that can play the game and play it well. And he adds a new element to this ball club, even more speed than Johnny Damon. And sure enough, he's having a terrific year.
Changeup is high. 1-0 the count to Nick Swisher.
Now all of a sudden, this dangerous Yankee lineup with an opportunity here. Yes, there's 2 outs. But the heart of the order trying to make their presence felt now.
Popped it up. Right up towards the closed roof at Chase Field. Rush Johnson, it's Kelly Johnson. 2 Yankees are stranded. 7-1 Diamondbacks.
Lopez hits it into the upper deck here at Yankee Stadium. A 1-1 game in the 4th inning.
Number 17 into the upper deck, Mark Grace.
Well, like I said, El Duque knows my name. That was the only run he gave up that night.
Heartbreaking losses.
Oh.
You told us in the pregame show those losses still sting.
To this day, I'll never get over them, Darren.
Even though you are a world champ because of that incredible and memorable series. Chad Godin goes to work, the veteran right-hander.
And you're right, we were the winners of that series, but I'll never get over those losses for as long as I live.
I can see that, having watched, as I said earlier, every moment of every game.
I watched it destroy a young man's career in Byung-Hyun Kim. I watched it crumble right in front of my very eyes. I watched a man all of a sudden, he became a defeated human being. And right there, I'm not worried about Byung-Hyun Kim, the pitcher. I'm worried about Byung-Hyun Kim, the human being. And we all were. Tony Womack, Rod Barajas, myself. We saw a man that was done. And he was a terrific young man and a terrific young pitcher.
Years later, we saw him come back. It was when I was working with you, trying to rediscover a little bit of that youth. As a starter,
he was never the same.
1-2 the count. Godin certainly a different look than Burnett as he fires a fastball up and away. Chad, 7 appearances with the Yankees. He was signed by the Yankees to a major league contract back on May the 26th. Went to spring training with New York and signed with Oakland. Struggled with the A's and 12 times out of the bullpen. Has just had a tough year. Remember the 09 Yankees last year. Mark Reynolds shoots that one up above. Rattles in and out of that press box. The 0-1. 1-1 the count. Seven to 1 the score.
Well, Godin just coming out and throwing the ball right by these guys.
Last year appeared on the Yankees playoff roster in all 3 rounds. The 1-2. Slider. Different look than the curveball that the starting pitcher A.J. Burnett was firing. Reynolds with a homer back in the first inning, 17 on the year. Walked and stole a base in the third and was stranded.
Well, he's laid off a couple of tough sliders. Godin probably saying, man, the scouting report says he chases those. Yeah, go ahead and fill her up.
Out there at the ABC Club. Fastball is in. How about that? Ball 4. Our SRP text poll. Where were you for Game 7 of the 2001 World Series? I was A, at Chase Field. I was B, watching on TV. C, too young to remember.
Oh, that can't be true.
I was D, none of the above. 36929. Well, if you're 8 years old and you already have your own cell phone that you can text with, you're in really good shape. You're way ahead of the curve.
Or I can say E. I was in the third base dugout.
That's exactly right. I just
screaming like a little third-grade girl.
I think there's only a handful of people, though, that could send that in the text. So they left that off.
So E in the third base dugout.
That pitch is a strike. Jody Jackson, let's bring her in. She knows where Miguel Montero was.
Well, I asked him today, he was 17 years old at the time. He was playing in the Dominican, and he said that actually it was 11 o'clock, and they turned off the electricity there. They were all going to sleep, and no one knew what was happening. He didn't say what inning exactly, but they did not see the end, obviously. And so finally someone came screaming in and said, the Diamondbacks won, but conserving electricity in the Dominican, and Miguel Montero never got to see the end of that game. Just one of the young guys I talked to, because there are a number of guys on this team. Chris Young was also 17 at that time. He remembers watching it on TV, and I talked to Cole Gillespie also, and just a great memory as one of the best World Series in history, if not maybe the best.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and it's funny because these guys were aspiring baseball players. Some of them, as you said, young Diamondbacks under contract in the minor leagues. There's Cole Gillespie. 2-1 the count. I was sitting on my couch in Orange County, California, with Lily at the time, who was
newborn,
watching every moment of it.
Yes.
2-2 the count. Two and two the count. West Miguel in the Dominican Republic is a Diamondback down, playing in the organization. Parra line drive center field. It's a base hit.
That's pretty much setting up a pitcher right there. You get a fastball blown right by you, and you talk that pitcher into throwing it again the next pitch. Sure enough, he gets that fastball. He speeds his bat up. And that is just a perfect example of setting a pitcher up. And Gerardo Parra did it beautifully there.
So you mean to tell me hitters set pitchers up?
Of course. Ryan Sandberg was the best I ever saw at it. Guy throwing that 1-0 slider to start right at his front hip. And Rhino buckle, and they'd come back in there for strike one, strike. And then Rhino would sit on that next slider, and the pitcher, he doesn't see my slider very well. He's not on it. Sure enough, Rhino talked him right into throwing that, and he'd throw that same slider, and Rhino would hit that patented 1-iron into the left field seats at Wrigley Field. And we'd all of us in the Cub dugout would just laugh. Rhino set him up again.
Bo Porter in the third base coach's box. Matt Williams in the first base box. Bo delivering signs for Lopez to drop a bunt down. 7-1 the score. The Yankees have 3 hits. The Diamondbacks 10. 0-2 the count.
Well, right here, a really good play is to try to steal third. Try to get A-Rod to come crashing in on the bunt. Then nobody's covering third. Certainly a risky play. But a play when you're up by 6 in the 5th inning, it's not that bad to try.
Jeter jockeys behind Reynolds at second. Gets that one right off the plate. What a good-looking bunt. My goodness, he overran it, but he just got it. Posada was heading somewhere well beyond that ball, and it just checked up. What a great 2-strike bunt.
A very good bunt. Rodrigo's having to do a lot of sprinting tonight. Right off the plate it goes. Don't look at it, Rodrigo. Don't look at it. Nice recovery there by Posada to get the out.
He was looking at it. I love that Exmo.
Going to have it all year, the rest of the year, I understand. That's great. Well, it just tells the whole story. Slows everything down. It's big league.
1-0 the count to Kelly Johnson. Looking forward to that. Kelly's 0 for 3. Flied out a couple of times. Grounded out to first. Well, he's dying to get a hit. If he gets a hit here, you talk about delivering a huge body blow. There's those hands you talked about. Unbelievable play by Mark Teixeira.
Saved 2 runs right there. A rope. Beautiful play.
Promotion. Go check it out at the ballpark. Interactive. It's Kachinko. Section 111 here at Chase Field. Gila River Casinos. They head on out to their pool, by the way, at the new Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino this Sunday to refocus. As that one is away. 1-0 the count to Mark Teixeira. Looking forward to doing a game out from the Kachinko kiosk.
No, that won't be happening.
Teixeira base it into right field.
Pretty much fastball, middle of the plate. Teixeira does what you're supposed to do with those. Rifles it into right field. And that brings up A-Rod.
Alex grounded back to the mound. Flew out to center field. Sinking fastball, solid strike one. 0-1 the count. 35 years old in 6 days. A 12-time All-Star. And a 3-time most valuable player.
Change up, got him out in front for a swing and a miss.
So it's sinker and what looked like the exact same pitch, but 7 miles an hour slower with a changeup. 0-2 the count. Fastball changeup, then on 0-2, Ian with another change. Infield, double play depth, outfield, straight up. Line drive into the right center field gap. Will it go all the way to the wall? It will. Teixeira's out front and off to the races. They're sending him on around to the plate. No relay. 72 the score. 45 runs batted in for Rodriguez. The 48th run scored this season by Mark Teixeira. Let's walk you through this at bat against Alex.
Well, Rodrigo starts off wonderfully. A good sinking fastball for strike one, and then a beautiful changeup for strike two. He misses with another changeup, just barely. And then just a little cut fastball, middle, and out over. A-Rod just drills it into right center. Now I would imagine we've seen it happen in the 6th and 7th inning in the last two starts. Rodrigo starts to get a little bit weary, and the ball starts to elevate a little bit. And you take that all day off the bat of the league's leading hitter. One pitch, one out. It is a productive out, by the way. He gets A-Rod over to third base.
But a late home run against Boston. A late home run against St. Louis. And that has been the story. Because a bullpen works behind him with an ERA of more than 7 this year. AJ and Rodrigo put their heads together and stayed in the games as long as they can. And in a couple of occasions, it's been 1 or 2 batters too many.
Right, the last 2 occasions. Nice breaking ball. But if this run scores here, and you get through these 6 innings with a 7-3 ball game, you'd certainly take that. But then you have to ask yourself, just how much longer do we want to stay with Rodrigo? Do you want to have happen what's happened the last 2 starts? And that is a really good outing ends up being, well, a below average outing because you end up staying with a guy because you don't have anybody out there you can trust to get outs. So it's a rock and a hard place with AJ and Rodrigo.
Drilled into right field, Upton racing over. He is there to make the play. Tagging and scoring is Rodriguez. Yankees still trail by 4, but 2 runs into the inning. It is 7-3 for Jorge Posada. 25 runs batted in this year. Rodriguez scores his 35th run.
Love those dugout mics. But Rodrigo has gotten through this pretty well. Now that is a productive out. And it is now 7-3. But I think if you're Rodrigo Lopez, you definitely take that. Now you got 2 outs, nobody on, and you can just get back a little bit.
Quickly 2-0 the count. Curtis Granderson struck out looking. He also grounded out to first base.
Oh, change up there, 2-0, and that one just froze Granderson. Good pitch.
Ground ball, fair ball. To the bag goes LaRoche.
I think he got through that pretty nicely, but now if you're A.J. Hinch, you have to think long and hard about what you do from here on out.
On Blimpie, America's sub shop. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds. They don't burn up your wallet. Deer Valley Hyundai dealer, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. Stephen Drew takes strike one, 0-1 the count as we move into the bottom half of the sixth inning. For the visiting New York Yankees, first place in the East of the American League. 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. They have stranded 4. Arizona 7 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. They have left 6 on base.
Well, if you're a Diamondback position player or a guy in the Diamondback lineup, you're telling yourself right now, we've got to find a way to add on. You got to find a way to add on. You can't just sit back and expect Rodrigo Lopez or the Diamondbacks bullpen to just come out and mow down this terrific lineup of the New York Yankees. Got to go be your own bullpen. Go out and score a couple more runs.
Drew, high fly into left center field. Over to put that one away is the left fielder, Brett Gardner. Let's bring in Jody Jackson. Jody, what do you have for us?
Well, Justin Upton really making his foray into the community here, making an impact. Today he presented a $50,000 check to Muhammad Ali for his work with the Parkinson's Foundation at Barrow Neurological Institute. And actually it was $90,000 raised at Celebrity Fight Night. $40,000 went through Fight Night, $50,000 through the Diamondbacks and Justin Upton. And the money was raised from an auction on a game that Justin will put together here with some of his friends. And the winning group will get to play that team here at Chase Field in the offseason. And Justin is already recruiting Chris Young and Mark Reynolds, as he called him, his home run ringer. No surprise there. And it's just great to see Justin Upton. He wants to make an impact in this community. He's done it with Muhammad Ali, as he was with Muhammad and his wife Lonnie at the opening of the Parkinson Center that Muhammad Ali has done so much work for, guys.
Thank you, Jody.
Good stuff.
Congratulations to Justin. Using his celebrity and his influence, and of course getting a chance to spend a little bit of time this winter and also this afternoon with one of the greatest athletes in the history of sports, and one of the most influential still to this day in Muhammad Ali.
Well, you don't throw the word icon around too often, but it certainly fits when talking about that man, Muhammad Ali.
Justin had never faced the Yankees, and maybe the champ and his stardom shining on Justin before the game, inspiring him a bit. He has homered against the Yankees, singled and scored, walked, stolen a base, and scored. He's still perfect against the team with 27 World Series titles.
Oh, ouch. Boy, that got him good. Oh, my goodness. Right in the bone of the elbow. Oh, this is dangerous here, folks. Well, that would be just what the D-backs need, is to lose this kid for some time.
And you could see they wanted to go up, but just sailed in.
Yeah, right on the elbow bone. Boy, let's hope there's not a break there. There's no flesh to save that elbow.
Dave Edwards is out. Skipper A.J. Hinch. His good buddy Chris Young there as well. Real speed on the surprise, truly, to me. Listen.
That's a bad sound.
I mean, that sounded like the bat. That's how scary it is.
Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a few of those, and it's excruciating.
Well, we all know that area as human beings. Bump a kitchen table, doing nothing, just a light little brush with a table in it, and it hurts. Well, he is in really, really bad pain.
There's his good friend, concerned about him. Let's see if he stays in the game or if he takes a walk. to the dugout. I think he wants to stay in the game.
He's getting a little leg on the back of that. See a little bump.
Sure. Put a little sleeve on there, one of those reduction sleeves on there. Oh, yeah. You got a little Titleist growing there.
And he doesn't want to come out of this game. That's what it's all
against
about.
The world champions, man. He's playing on national TV as well as local TV. He's keeping his helmet on. He's going to stay in this ball game. Yeah, I think he's a little more angry than he is hurt right now.
Colorado Rockies lost their young talented superstar, Troy Tulowitzki.
Love seeing smiles down there from Upton. Dave Edwards, he's going to stay in this game. That is great news.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, you got that right.
We certainly appreciate
Talk about tough. How about them?
The applause for Upton, but we thank you. As Tulowitzki hit by a pitch the other day, broken wrist. He is down in Denver. That's good to see Justin moving around. All right, here we go. Miguel Montero, who last made it out, I think, in spring training. As he takes a change up for strike one. Well, so far, Justin's day, even though it's a painful perfect, it remains perfect.
Get a little ice on there after the game, he'll be just fine. He's a tough kid.
Gets that one on the ground. Could be 2, 6, 4, 3. A double play. Let me tell you something. Robinson Cano knew to get to that bag at second and get out of dodge with that man coming in. Lights and sounds.
Great stuff.
From this game one of a 3-game series. Taking a button with him, Brett Gardner. Gardner is on. Boy, what a level of excitement and just pure unadrenalated speed on the base paths by that man. I mean, he is really fun to watch, Gracie. It's the first time I've seen him play in person, and I like everything I see about him.
Well, he's 3 for 3. It's tough not to love what you're seeing. He's just using what he brings, and that is speed. He's not up there to hit the ball in the gap. He's not up there to hit it in the seats. He's up there to start the inning. He's up there to be the catalyst of this inning, and he does exactly that. Takes a perfect drag bunt with him, and once again, speed on the base paths, and it's just interesting to note, still nobody getting loose for the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Rodrigo going to be left in there to do it all again here in the 7th.
Chad Huffman, our Blimpie game summary. We saw some of the pictures. You can see all the Diamondbacks runs have been scored with 2 outs. LaRoche, Upton, and Reynolds with home runs. Yes, folks, the other part is he can flat out fly if you just join us over there at first and Gardner. Picked up this winter from the San Diego Padres, added to the 40-man roster in April. Chad Huffman. That pitch is in.
He is a big old boy, this Huffman.
499 minor league games, 65 homers, 111 doubles, and around a 300 hitter in his minor league career.
Looking at that ground ball now. Well, that is close to a balk right there. Very close to a balk.
What do you say?
And the Yankees are giving it to Wally Bell over there. That whole dugout giving it to Wally. That front knee came up. That was definitely a balk. Definitely a balk. Wally Bell getting an earful over there from the Yankee dugout and giving an earful back.
Well, I clearly saw it that time on the replay. Up and high fly, Justin Upton with an easy chance. Chad Huffman is erased. Back to the top of the order and Derek Jeter. The young man out of Kalamazoo Central High School, taking over at shortstop for the New York Yankees in 1996 and edging closer to 3,000 career hits. 1995, Tony Fernandez was the Yankees shortstop.
Tony Fernandez was a great shortstop, but I do not remember him as a New York Yankee.
It was a revolving door, Gracie and folks. Prior to that, 94, Mike Gallego. 93, Spike Owen. 92, Andy Stankiewicz. 91, Alvaro Espinoza.
Enough said.
From 96 until now, Derek Jeter. Jeter skies it to Chris Young in center field. 2 outs in the inning.
After the bunt base hit, 2 lazy fly balls, 1 to right, off the bat of Huffman. This time another one off the bat of Derek Jeter to center field. So Rodrigo battling. And right now, winning.
Rodrigo Lopez has pitched 6 or more innings in 12 of his 14 starts, 7 or more innings in 8 of his 14 starts. He had to pitch every spring, every outing to make this team, not to get ready for the season, to make this team.
Oh, and he was their best starter in spring training.
What a great story. We like to deem quality starts in this booth 7 innings and 3 runs or less. He's done that 5 times. The Diamondbacks are 1-4 the 5 times he has done it.
That's a crime.
Outside. No one's going to sit here and deny the ERA that is over 4.5 for the right-hander. But you have clearly seen A veteran right-hander pitch a couple of times too deep into games and have that ERA spike.
Or someone come in and give up a couple of his runs that were left out there.
He's had a good year. Just put it that way. He was an Oriole from 02 to 06, 3 times the opening day starter, saw the Yankees a lot. Hard ground ball. Oates stumbled as he went down, and that one gets by him. Rodrigo did not go to back up third. Now he hustles over there and ends up behind the plate. That phone ringing in the bullpen now.
I think LaRoche thought this ball was hit harder than it was. It was not hit hard. You see the dive, but then, oh, the ball's not here yet. I think sometimes you get hit a changeup, and unfortunately, Adam misjudged the changeup and dove for a ball. Yeah, well, he just didn't need to dive for it. That'll go as a hit, only because Adam played it into a hit. Boy.
Mark Teixeira pops it up. What a changeup he just threw him. Justin Upton puts it away. What a night.
Do it, son. Very impressive.
They brought their lumber in the first inning, put up a 5-spot, added a couple more. Only question now, is it enough?
Keep throwing changeups like that to Mark Teixeira, guys. It just might be. So they got to Darren and Mark.
Yeah, that's the pitch of the game, really, because you make a mistake there, we've got a different ball game and a Yankees fan base that has filled up this ballpark pretty heftily on its ear, and it's a 7-6 game if you make a mistake. He caught him wanting to hit a homer, and because of that, the changeup, the pitch of the night.
Yeah, he's thinking home run. He's thinking big time, way out in front, a good changeup. Doggone it, says Teixeira. And that's also picking up your infielder. Adam LaRoche, who is a terrific first baseman. He just missed time to dive. And one pitch later, Rodrigo Lopez made everything just fine.
Chris Young pops up a bunt. And that one is fouled off. Chan-Ho Park is working. Been at it for a long, long time, hasn't he, folks? Signed with the Yankees heading into spring training late February. The most wins of any major league pitcher born in Korea. And only behind Hideo Nomo is the most career wins as an Asian-born pitcher. Chan-Ho Park.
Chan-Ho Park pitched against the Yankees last year in the World Series. He was a Philadelphia Philly last year. Now, if you can't beat him, join him.
The 0-2. Chopper. Alex in time for the out. Big blow in this ball game came off the bat of Adam LaRoche. There were 2 outs, a couple of runners on, a 3-run homer. And that made it 4-0 at the time.
Long home run off the bat of Adam LaRoche.
So this is now a real quality start anyway. The 18th time a Diamondback starting pitcher has gone 7 or more innings with 3 runs or less allowed. The 18th time.
For us, it's a quality start. In
Yes,
this booth.
In this booth. The Diamondbacks, should they hold on and win this game, would finally move to 500. They are 8-9 the first 17 times. The only team below 500 when they get 7 or more and 3 earned runs or less. That's got to have that man pulling his hair out.
Oh, man. Well, it's a lot grayer.
Lift it. Alex Rodriguez. Want to remind all of you looking ahead, the best players in the game gather on one night on baseball's biggest stage, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, from Anaheim, Orange County, California, only on Fox. A couple of guys here that we may see at that All-Star Game.
Who do you think we're going to see?
1-0 the count. We've seen a lot of Yankees in these shots. I need to see that man at the All-Star Game. He might need to gain some consideration. How about Kelly Johnson for the Diamondbacks? All the others we saw out there will receive a lot of votes. The Diamondbacks, their selection will be selected, not in the voting process.
Yeah, there's elected and selected.
2-0 the count to Mark Reynolds. 2-1. Seven hits for the Yankees, 10 for the Diamondbacks. Sold out Chase Field. Curveball is inside, 3-1. The folks enjoying things at Fridays. Mark, of course, he visits occasionally with his baseball. Three and two the count. Mark needed this night. Coming in 16 games so far in June, he had 9 hits and 27 strikeouts. Three-two, hanging around.
And a change up there on 3-2, and he was able to hang around. Mark's had himself a very good night. A long ball to start his night, to cap off a 5-run first, and back-to-back walks. He's having a good at-bat here against Chan-Ho Park.
We were talking about Arizona In their last 15 home games, they are 10-5. 75 extra base hits, 6 runs a game. In their last 15 road games, they have won just once. 2.5 runs per game and 29 extra base hits. It's hard to explain. The 3-2. Waves over the top of that one, the 100th strikeout of the season for Mark Reynolds. Otherwise, it's been a good night for Mark and his mates. Rodrigo clocking right back in. Battling. Where were you? You were watching on TV, a majority of you. Small percentage here at Chase Field, and we have some 8-year-olds or younger with their own cell phones.
Which is fine.
That pitch is in. How old's your oldest son?
He is 9.
Oh, does he have a phone?
He was here. Yes, he has a phone.
All right.
He didn't text because he was here. He doesn't remember, but he was here.
Okay. The 1-0. Alex Rodriguez drives it into right center field. Look at Chris Young. He is there to run it down.
About 405 feet away in right center field, but Chris Young, as you said, runs it down. Rodrigo Lopez. Just another chapter in this gutsy effort. Please catch it. Please catch it. All right.
8-8 in his career against the Yankees with an ERA over 5. The last time he faced him, he beat him, but it was a different kind of an outing. He was a member of the Rockies. It was in June. It was at Coors Field, and he battled his way through 5 2/3. It's the 8th inning now.
Well, that was a good pitch in on the hands of Cano to jump ahead 0-2. Fastball away, strike 1. Fastball in, strike 2. Well, come on up here. I'll sign him. But this man's been the story, Darren.
He is the story tonight. He's deserved the night, quite honestly, where he gets a little bit of run support, number one. And as some of those balls late in games land in the glove of the outfielder, even if they're deep and into the gap.
Well, he just missed the barrel. of A-Rod's bat. He got it off the end just to shake, because if A-Rod catches that on the barrel, it's way out of here. We know what kind of power he has.
Hit his spot, wanted it up, 1-2, the count to Cano. Robinson came in hitting .367. And really rolling. 32 multi-hit games coming in. 10 3-hit games this year. Goodness.
That's a lot of hits.
10 3-hit games. Tonight, though, he's been quiet. Hasn't that been a big part of the story? I mean, looking back tonight on Rodrigo, his ability to have hitters starting and stopping, really changing speeds and going in when he needs to.
I agree with you. He has made some very good two-strike pitches tonight. They haven't all been for strikeouts, but they've gotten a lot of the handle, a lot of the end of the bat. Right now, Robinson Cano fighting off some good pitches.
I mean, he is not going to get you to swing and miss much anyway. Most of his strikeouts are looking. He is twice league average in that category. He gets a swing and miss of all his strikes a little bit over 5% of the time. He gets them either looking or fouled off. The 1-2. Hit base, hit into left field. That was up.
Yeah. He threw it where he wanted to throw it. When you're coming into the game hitting .367, well, you don't necessarily just have to hit strikes. You can hit those too. That is beautiful hitting there by Cano. That reminded me of Tony Gwynn right there. Tony Gwynn could take a pitch up and let it travel like that and just swat it out to left field, something like that.
What a huge compliment you just gave him.
And he is not only a great hitter now, but he's going to be for years.
97 pitches for the right-hander. Looks like Vasquez getting ready quickly in the bullpen.
Wrestling Vasquez warming up in the bullpen. Rodrigo looking for a ground ball double play. Good pitch right there, right at the knees.
That would have been it if he hits it. He has rolled up 6 double plays this year in 63 opportunities. That's about league average. Posada leaping and making the play is Parra.
It looked like Parra may have misjudged this a shade, but then he finds his way getting back and makes a leaping grab. Beautiful play there by Parra. Look at the eyes staying right on the baseball until he makes the play. Big time play right there. Every little bit helps now. You're 4 outs away from beating the defending champions.
1-0 the count to Curtis Granderson. Last year, this veteran, 3 times an opening day starting pitcher in the American League East for Baltimore, was working in AAA in the Phillies organization. When he pitched in the big leagues, he struggled. When he pitched in 07 in Colorado, his ERA was nearly 6. Had his elbow rebuilt, was watching Diamondbacks TV while he was rehabbing, trying to get stronger because he lives here in the Valley. Communicated over the winter with the Diamondbacks that he would just love a chance.
Love an invite to spring training.
That's all. Just give me a locker where I can hang my shorts when I go to work and a jersey with any number on it. I'll make your team. 2-1 the count.
What a beautiful 2-0 pitch that was. Rodrigo trying to get through and try to get his team through one of the gutsiest outings I've seen this year by a Diamondback pitcher.
High pop. Stephen Rue is there. 100 innings on the season for the man who wasn't even supposed to be in the major leagues this year. In inning number 100, he strolls into the dugout after absolutely dominating the defending World Series champion New York Yankees. Right back in the box, Gerardo. He can hit some pretty line drives.
That's almost a carbon copy of his last at-bat.
Holy.
We saw him set up, go down. He didn't even bother setting up Chan Ho Park. He just rifled the first pitch he saw right past Derek Jeter. Diamondbacks once again an opportunity to add on. Rusty Ryle going to come on and hit for Rodrigo Lopez, who was brilliant tonight, Darren Sutton.
It was an honor to call his game, to see him work, to track back to spring training when we first started speaking with him about his hopes for this year. Here's Rusty Ryle. That was back in the day where you thought in a couple of weeks you'd have Brandon Webb and Lopez would be a good number 4 or number 5. He's got 100 innings now for the Diamondbacks. Brandon Webb is, who knows if we'll see him again this year. And Rodrigo has served as a very important part of this team. And so is Rusty Ryle, by the way, who made this club with his efforts in spring training.
He's hitting over 300 this year as Rusty Ryle.
Had a good day yesterday, didn't he?
He was one of very few that was able to solve Max Scherzer, the former Diamondback. He smoked 2 singles off Scherzer in that 3-1 loss, and also plays the game hard, man. How about the way he broke up that double play? Ramon Santiago, you'll remember this young man. He plays the game hard, but he plays it clean.
You want to know how focused Ryle is and how he plays the game? The first words he said to me when I saw him around the cage today, didn't speak with him on the flight yesterday. First words, "Hey Rusty, how you doing?" Santiago didn't touch that bag at all, did he, Sut? First words out of his mouth today. He's still thinking about that play.
He didn't.
I said, oh, by the way, Rusty took a Sunday stroll in the park and
paid a dear price.
one is high. Diamondbacks also putting their foot on the gas a little bit on the base pads in support of that man. 15 stolen bases since mid-June. June the 5th, Tampa Bay and Florida, the only teams with more. Diamondbacks starting to run. I mean, when you look at what San Diego has done this year, it's been their bullpen and their base running. That's why they are where they are. Good to see the Diamondbacks starting to run. Want to remind everyone as we look ahead what's brewing. On Fox Sports Arizona, Andy Pettit against Dan Herron. My goodness, that's tomorrow.
That is a great one right there.
And Javier Vasquez against Dontrell Willis, the former Diamondback and Vasquez.
Dan Herron, even as great as he is, he could learn a lot from what he saw from Rodrigo Lopez tonight. Nice breaking ball there, and that one just buckled the knees of Rusty Ryle.
Packed house tonight. Got him to swing through that one. The action comedy night and day. Tom Cruise, the agent. Cameron Diaz caught between him and those he claims set him up. It's a lot of fun. It's a globe-trotting adventure. Night and day. Go check it out. Coming to a theater near you on Wednesday. I know Gracie and I are going to go see it. We have a late afternoon game Saturday in Tampa. We're going right to night and day.
Check it out, no question. Looking forward to it, actually.
Bring Gonzo with us. Oh, and 1 the count. Let's get Kelly a hit here.
Kelly needs a hit. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Been robbed a couple of times by first baseman Mark Teixeira. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Diamondbacks have 11 hits. But him and Stephen Drew, the first two batters in the lineup, are combined 0 for 8.
Kelly Johnson in the right field. All right, there's his hit. All right, now we're talking. It's funny. Baseball's a funny game. That one not nearly as hard as a couple of his outs.
And that's all you have to do is just ask, huh? Ask and you shall receive. Johnson catches that one off the end of the bat. Great effort out here by Nick Swisher, but he just comes up a little shy. Really does a nice job of flagging it and not letting it get past him. Where both D-back runners still be running.
Let's get Steven a hit here.
We're going to go to that well again. I like it, Darren.
He is 0 for 4. Couple of ground outs. 3 to be exact, and he's also flied to left field. Breaking ball just missed away. Steven 6 for 22 on the trip. 3 for 11 coming in his career against the New York Yankees. Remember the last time these two teams met up back in 07, the Yankees swept the Diamondbacks. And it felt like on that day that, and on a couple of days in New York, that the Diamondbacks went on to have a great season in the end. That they were overwhelmed by what they were seeing. It looked like Steven was ready to maybe get Derek's autograph.
If you remember, Steven, he just had so much difficulty defensively. Couldn't make a play. Just jitters. Bronx jitters is what we call them.
Fouled that one off. The Bronx, I also remember that he got on the wrong train to the Bronx.
Oh, yeah, that was that series. Oh,
You didn't get on the 4.
Memories.
And you had a long walk.
Mr. Watercolor.
1-2 the count.
Nothing big league about that day.
2-2. To Stephen Drew.
Had to hoof it about 6 miles.
I know your wallet was a lot lighter because I had hit you up for a couple of big steak dinners in Manhattan on that trip.
New York prices. Oh, man.
Ooh, change of pace.
Well, July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is All-American Weekend at Chase Field, presented by Arizona Milk Producers. Enjoy the D-backs Dodgers series, including huge post-game fireworks. Spectacular on Saturday, July 3rd, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. The best part? You can sit in air-conditioned Chase Field until the game ends. Then stay in your seat as the roof opens for the fireworks show in the Valley. Call 602-462-4794. Visit dbacks.com. Now an opportunity to see just how good or bad that elbow is of Justin Upton's.
He's got it with that sleeve on it already, doesn't he? Upton, it looks like he has it protected.
And one of those compression sleeves that it's a very
bad.
tight sleeve to keep that elbow from swelling.
It's like that material of a wetsuit, correct?
Mm-hmm. But even much tighter, yeah, to keep that elbow, keep that golf ball at a golf ball and not become a softball.
And then right in the ice pack or ice bucket after the game.
Oh, trust me, right now if you just touch his elbow, he'll go through the roof.
I don't think I will.
No. I love the fact that he stayed in the game. A lot of guys would have taken that left turn. I've had my good day today. Homered, singled, scored 3 runs. I'll just take it on home. Nope. He wants to see this one out.
How about this? That was the first run of the ball game. You commented on how quickly it got out of here. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The Yankees 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. They've stranded 7. The Diamondbacks 7 runs, 12 hits, and no errors. They've stranded 6. All sorts of different pictures being taken of this game as that one is away. 2-2 the count. The men in the visiting dugout a little bit more used to it. There was a time where in that home dugout, when you played especially, you were more used to that kind of constant postseason-like coverage. I think it's great for the home team to have all this around right now.
I agree. Missed with a change-up badly. It's 3-2. The runners will get a head start here. Love to see a couple more added on here, Darren Sutton.
Park just in case takes a peek back. 3-2, 2 outs. Upton homered, singled, walked, stole a base, was drilled by that pitch we told you about. 3 runs scored. Runners go. Upton! Deep left field again! A perfect night against the Yankees.
How's that elbow feeling?
The Diamondbacks 10, the Yankees 3. Upton's 13th home run of the year. He has scored 4 runs and driven in 4 tonight.
3-2, hang a slider. Justin kills it. He knows it. Chan Ho Park knows it. It's just a matter of how far, way out of here. That's how you get back at a team for hitting you in the elbow right there. That's sending a lot of Yankee fans to the exits.
One and one the count. Miggy pops it up to Shara. Cano. If you have any idea how to figure out this team, we would love your feedback. You see, on a woeful road trip, the Diamondbacks hit 4 home runs the entire road trip. They have 4 home runs tonight against the defending World Series champion, New York.
He got every big out he needed to get there, and there was plenty of guys on base. And when he needed to make the big pitch, he made the big pitch. He got solid defense behind him. And that man deserves some run support. He got it tonight. He was excellent.
So the Diamondbacks, interesting what they have accomplished tonight. You know, you talk about painful runs and final blows, midsection blows. 2-out RBIs. Carlos Rosa, I have a good story about him in a moment. But first, 10 runs, all with 2 outs. It has only happened one other time this season in all Major League games played. It was June 11th. The Angels did it to the Dodgers. They scored all 10 of their runs, all of them, and you have to score all of them with 2 outs. So good for the Diamondbacks. And
those are killers.
The killer blows. Carlos Rosa, he kind of felt like a killer got to him when he came into the locker room today. You see, with all the jockeying of the roster of late and guys going down, guys being traded like Connor Jackson, they kind of reassigned a handful of lockers today.
Okay.
And there's a wall, and you know well, when you walk into that Diamondbacks locker room, folks, it's kind of a breezeway kind of a area of lockers where a lot of the babies and the rookies go when they first get here. And it's where all the media walks through to head to the field. Well, that's where Rosa and about 3 or 4 of his teammates were lockered up. Well, he didn't know. He didn't know that anything had been changed. He came in, took a left, looked along that wall, and his locker wasn't there anymore. And he thought he wasn't here anymore.
I'm gone.
He really, really was scared. Finally, a couple of the folks down below got a hold of him, tapped him on the shoulder, and turned him and spun him to his right, and he felt much better. But I asked him today, and his English he's still working on. He just tapped that heart. He said, my heart. I didn't know if I was in the big leagues anymore. 2-2. These are the days, unfortunately, around this club.
Well, yeah, I would imagine there's a lot of guys that aren't too comfortable, hoping every day they come to the locker room that their locker's still there, or maybe just been moved. Better hurry.
Out to Reynolds.
He's 4 for 4.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and jump on this before you do. I let everyone know that Brett Gardner is officially my guy.
Well, of course he is. Of course he is. Mark Reynolds tries the bare hand, can't make the play, and yeah, Brett Gardner, my partner, being the front runner he is, go ahead and just claimed him as his guy.
Francisco Cervelli, who does work behind the plate for these Yankees, will pinch hit. He just gets so used to those pinstripers, those gray uniforms, bombing and blasting the bleachers. That pitch is in, 1-0. That's a true speed player, Gracie. I mean, a true speed player out there at first. And you don't bat him at leadoff because of the man who's in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, his name's Jeter, one of the best leadoff men of all time. But any other team in baseball, this guy is a great leadoff man, Gardner.
He goes ahead and moves up. Of course, since they weren't holding him, no stolen base. So he gets punished because the Diamondbacks weren't holding him. And no stolen base.
Dumb rule.
2-1 to count. So if a pitcher throws a bad 0-2 pitch and it's right down the middle, no home run if it goes out.
Yeah, exactly.
Pitching indifference.
I like that. Pitcher's indifference.
2-2 the count. It's a nice experience for this right-hander, no matter the score, to get 3 outs in this game. For a bullpen that has had trouble doing so all year long. Four home runs for Arizona in the ball game, 86 on the year.
Got a great crowd. Yankee fans and D-back fans have behaved themselves nicely.
Fly, ball left field. Cervelli is there. He's got room. Gardner tags, heads to third. He's in there. One out.
Watching the ball all the way in again. Nice play by Parra. Right there by the wall. Doggone it, I thought that might have been a home run.
Derek Jeter has walked and flied to every outfielder, left, right, and then center. Four-time Gold Glover, 10-time All-Star. And seeking his 40th run batted in, as we mentioned earlier, the 39 leads all leadoff hitters. He's going to have to get hot to become the second leadoff hitter who has batted leadoff to drive in 100 runs.
Ricky did that? Ricky Henderson?
Darren Erstad.
The
only other leadoff hitter to do that. And mind you, all of the at-bats coming out of that one spot. The year he had 240 hits. Well, there's a changeup for you.
I guess so. Watch how much this ball moves in on Jeter. Just tied him right up.
Two and two, the count.
You can see Jeter talking to himself. He's still up there battling. It's 10-3. He's still up there battling. He's not giving this at bat away. He's not up there just trying to hit it in the seats and collect his own numbers. Battling, trying by hook or by crook to get on base somehow. Fighting off tough pitches. Talking to himself. Come on, man. What are you doing? Come on. It's a ball player right there.
And he keeps fouling off pitch after tough pitch to keep the at-bat alive. As you well know, because you had to do it, you don't get up and over 1,500, then 2,000, then 24, 2,500. He's almost to 3,000 hits without a lot of at-bats like this.
That's exactly right.
In the ninth, down 10-3.
Does it mean he's going to get a hit? Of course it doesn't. But, man, most hitters would have been disposed of 5 pitches ago. Battling. As you said.
Look at that take on a changeup in.
Could have easily been called strike 3. But that is Derek Jeter, and that ball's clearly inside.
Another pitch. Low, ball 4. He has walked twice. He earned that one. And so now, Nick Swisher. Tripled, singled. He's also fly to right and popped to second.
Well, even if you bring this game home, but if you allow the Yankees to score a couple or 3 runs right here, all of a sudden, even though you win this ball game, momentum into tomorrow's game is all with the Yankees. So you're really wanting Rose to find a way to slam this door. If you give up 1, that's fine. But you don't want to start giving up gappers and long balls. And next thing you know, have to get a couple of guys up in the bullpen, something like that. You just want to slam the door right here.
One and one to count.
Meanwhile, there it is. Somebody's having to get loose. Wayne Boyer it is.
High fly ball into left center field. Young's got room. A run scores with just 1.
Just that all day.
You bet. Swisher, his second RBI of the night, 44 in the year. Gardner scores his 48th run this season. 2 outs, it's 10-4.
Now Diamondback fans, I would imagine, going to get on their feet.
Jeter moves on up to second base.
Diamondback fans, I would imagine going to get on their feet.
You know he will.
That's our guy. That's my guy. You go ahead and have Brett Gardner. That's my guy.
Oh no, that guy's my guy as well.
Joe Fan. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Get a little excited.
The 1-0. 1-1 the count.
Yes.
Outside corner, 1-2. Bouncing ball. How about that? Another changeup beats Teixeira as the Diamondbacks beat the New York Yankees. And these D-backs fans, they showed up. They might have felt outnumbered early, but those Yankee fans were quieted throughout the night. Good to see the Diamondbacks find their offense, their youth, their energy, their effort once again against these New York Yankees. 10-4 the final score. A whole lot to talk about in our post-game show. I know Todd is ready. Joe is ready. Gracie and I will help out just a bit. A great way to